Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my August and September book wrap up. I apologize for my red face. I had a facial this morning, so it's a little bit red, but I wanted to go ahead and film this because I have quite a few books. I think I've got 10 books here that I wanted to share with you guys and talk about. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. Okay, so first I want to talk about thrillers, and I have 4 here. So the first one is Ward Deep by Frida McFadden, and I have heard so many people rave about this book. I've seen a lot of good things about it, so I've had it on my Amazon wish list for quite a while, and I actually got it for my birthday, and I'm pretty sure I blew through this in like a day. It was so good. So it's a medical student that is spending the night locked in a psychiatric ward. And it just kind of goes through her journey and like hour by hour, and as the night progresses, like things get weirder and weirder, and it all happens I think in like 12 hours. So it's very suspenseful. I was not expecting the plot twist, and it was just overall really good. And then the next book I have is The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. Now, I've read a few books by Lisa Jewell, and I've liked all of them because I feel like they have a good plot twist. Usually I can predict them for the most part, so any author that I read where I can like the ending usually surprises me, I really like. So I automatically buy pretty much any book of hers I see, and this one was also really good. So this book, actually, I think it's got 2 or 3 point of views in here, and it's just about it's like a discovery of a body found, and then it links like multiple different crimes, and it takes like 3 different points of views, like I said, maybe even 4 actually, because there's 3 main characters and then the detective. And it's a little bit confusing at first until you can get your bearings, but overall it was really good. And once, like I said earlier, I was shocked by the ending. And then this is The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. And this says, one night Mia Dennett enters a bar to meet her on-again, off-again boyfriend, but when she doesn't show, she unwisely leaves with an enigmatic stranger. At first, Colin Thatcher seems like a safe one-night stand, but following Colin home will turn out to be the worst mistake of Mia's life. When Colin decides to hide Mia in a secluded cabin in rural Minnesota instead of delivering her home to his employers, Mia's mother, the detective, will stop at nothing to find them. This book, when I tell you, the end shocked me. And it's not even until the last few pages, but this book kept me going. This was really good. How many times can I say really good? We'll find out. And then the last thriller I read was If I Run by Terry Blackstock. And this is just like, I think I talked about this. I've got this one not that long ago at the thrift store. And it says, Casey Cox's DNA is all over the crime scene. There's no use to talk to the police. They failed her abysmally before. Okay, and then the last one is If I Run by Terry Blackstock. And this is one in which this woman stumbles upon a crime scene and leaves her DNA accidentally, and it kind of takes you through like her path, she's on the run, how the detective finds her, etc. And then come to find out, after I read this, I realized it was not resolved, and there's, I think, 2 more books in this one, so I'll probably be trying to find those. I'd like to get them at a thrift store because I don't know if they was like good enough to pay full price, if you know what I mean, but it was good enough that I want to know what happens next. Okay, and then next are these 2 books called The Mistake and The Score by Elle Kennedy, and these are books 2 and 3, I believe, in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. Like I said, I think there's 5 in the Off-Campus, and they're related, but they're not the exact main characters, but each one follows like one main character's or 2 main characters' love story to how they get with each other. And it's like a hockey themed college, whatever. And these are both really good. These are easy reads, and I really enjoy them. I think I enjoyed The Score more than I enjoyed The Mistake, but both were really good. And when I say they're related, like the characters in one book will be mentioned in the next one, but the next one follows like mainly 2 different characters. So now that I've read this, I'm going to be getting the next one off of Amazon because I do enjoy those books and they're a good read. And then next I read Dreamland by Nicholas Sparks. I've been waiting to read this one until it came on paperback because I hate hardcover. I do not like hardcover books, and Nicholas Sparks is just one of those authors I've been reading since I was probably in like junior high, and I think I have almost all of them at this point, and they're pretty similar for the most part, and they're not necessarily books that I like am dying to read, but you know, you've already started, so you just have to keep going. And this one was better than the last one, which I think was like 2x2 or The Wish or something like that. It was not that great. So this one was actually pretty good. So this one is about a guy who works on a farm, but he envisions himself as like a singer-songwriter in Nashville. So he takes a summer off working on his family farm and plays a gig at a beach bar in Florida where he meets this girl. Their connection is instantaneous. She's a talented singer herself and determined to move to Nashville and become a star. And then while they're falling in love, somebody else, Beverly, is on a heart-pounding journey of another kind, fleeing an abusive husband with her 6-year-old son. He is struggling to survive as she tries to begin a new life in a rural town, but in the end, she will make a desperate decision that will rewrite everything she knows it to be true. This book was not like any other Nicholas Sparks book that I've read in the past, because usually, like, they're all the same. Boy meets girl, fall in love, something tragic happens, they get over it. That's it. There's not really any like more depth to this. This has a whole other layer to it by bringing in Beverly, and this one was just really good. So I would recommend this one to people. And then I read Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I have not read any of her books before. I've seen like Hook, Line, and Sinker all over and like the other ones. I picked this one up because it seemed interesting and I liked the cover. And honestly, this one was just okay. It took me a really long time to get into it, but it was just okay. I know she's coming out with a Christmas book that I want to get, and I'm going to give her another shot with like a couple other books, but overall I wasn't that impressed. And then Christina Lauren Something Wilder. This one was so good. I have read Love and Other Words by her, and then this is the only other one I've read by her. I think she has The Unhoneymooners, if I'm remembering correctly. I have not read that one yet, but this was really good. So this says, growing up the daughter of notorious and notoriously absent treasure hunter Duke Wilder left Lily without much patience for the profession or much money in the bank. Using Duke's hand-drawn maps to guide tourists on treasure hunts through the canyons of Utah pays the bills, but isn't enough to buy back the beloved ranch her father sold years ago, and is definitely not enough to deal with the sight of her first love walking back into her life. And then, so her love of her life comes back, and then they take him on this treasure hunt, something goes wrong, and it's this whole thing. This book was such a unique plot that I had to keep going. It was so good. This is the second book by hers that I've read, and I've loved both of them, so I would definitely recommend this one. And then I think that she wrote a Christmas book. I already have it. I bought it used off of Amazon for like $5, so that's supposed to be here. So I'm curious if that one's any good, because I haven't heard any mention of that. And then lastly, I wrote Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. I'm telling you, this is probably one of my favorite books so far that I've read this year. So this says, house-flipping sensation and YouTube star Maggie Nichols can't wait to dig into her next challenge. Arriving in tiny Kinship, Idaho with only a cot and a coffee maker, Maggie is prepared to restore a crumbling Victorian mansion in 4 months or less. She has her to-do list, her blueprints, and her team. What she doesn't have is time for sexy, laid-back landscaper Silas Wright. The man takes flirtation to a whole new level, and he does it shirtless, sometimes pantless. He and his service school dropout dog are impressively persistent, but she's not interested in putting down roots, not when fans tune in to watch her travel across the country, turning dilapidated houses into dream homes. This is another one kind of similar to this one, where it's a plot that I've never heard of before or read anything on, and I read a lot, so anytime I can find something that's unlike anything I've read before, I usually really enjoy it. And I really liked this one. It was a cute story, easy read, entertaining. I read it quick because I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it enough that I bought a couple more books by the author that I'm excited to try. Anyways, that is it. Those are all the books that I read in August and September, and I will probably do another one of these for like October, November, whatever, December, just depending on how many books I read. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.